Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the last class, as far as I remember, we discussed about the examples of Newton's laws of motion and law of conservation of momentum. We discussed about the motion of rocket and the recoiling of a gun. So, and I told you to go through the paragraph that are in the book in page number 208 and 209. Okay, and if you have come across any doubt, you can let me know now. Okay, I will rediscuss this again. Do you have any doubt in these two topics? These are very important topic. Okay, see, recoil of a gun and motion of rocket, very important to understand. Do you have any doubt in this? No? Okay, mashallah. Then the next topic that we discussed about is relation between Newton's law of motion. We saw that how we can deduce the first law from the second law of Newton, right? From F equal to ma, we saw that how the velocity remains constant when no force is applied on. Okay, and then there were relation with the first law and third law, first law and second law. So all those things I told you to go through at home. If you have gone through, please let me know if you have any doubt, or else I will continue from the topic that is limitation of Newton's law of motion. Can I start discussing about the limitation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sadia doesn't have any doubt. Anybody else? No. Okay. So limitation of Newton's laws of motion. Okay. Now we know that Newton's law are regarding the motion of a body, right? That means regarding the velocity of the object. But there is a limitation to it, okay? When the velocity of the object approaches or means it gets closer to the velocity of light, the velocity of an object, okay? We know that inherently it is 5 meter per second, 10 meter per second, 100 kilometer per hour, 54 kilometer per hour, something like this, right? These are much lesser velocity compared to the velocity of light. But if a body achieves the velocity of the achieves the velocity of light, then what will happen? In such case, we cannot actually apply the Newton's laws of motion. Okay, we cannot apply. So this is a limitation of the Newton's law of motion. Okay, this might come for 2 marks. Okay, in B, creative A, B, C, D, 4 parts are there. In B, it might come for 2 marks. Then what is the limitation of Newton's law of motion? So you have to write the main thing. That is, we cannot apply the Newton's law of motion when our body's velocity gets closer to the velocity of light. Okay. Now, if we cannot apply Newton's law of motion for a body whose velocity is closer to the velocity of light, then what we can do at that case? Okay, for such case, we have to apply Einstein's theory of relativity. Okay, there is a relativity law. I hope you have heard about it already, but you haven't read about it in details. Okay, in our time, actually, there was a chapter 12 that was totally on theory of relativity, but I don't think it is there anymore. Okay, in grade 12, number 12 chapter, okay, it was on theory of relativity. So if it is there, inshallah, we will get to know more about this. Okay, so when the object has a velocity that is much less compared to the velocity of light, then we can apply Newton's law of motion. But if the velocity gets closer to the velocity of light, then we cannot apply Newton's law of motion anymore. We have to apply Einstein's theory of relativity. So this is the limitation of Newton's law. Is it clear? Can you write it now? If you are asked to write the limitation of Newton's law of motion, can you write it?
Yes, sir.
Inshallah. Okay. So let us move to the next topic, that is force, field, and intensity. Now all these three things you have studied a little bit in SSC level. Okay. Field. We talked about gravitational field and electric field. Whenever we say field, inshallah, we will study about two types of field, that is gravitational and another one is electric. Now, what do we mean by gravitational field? Now, if you remember, you have already studied Newton's law of gravitation. What is that? Every object attracts another object in the universe, okay? And that attraction force is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the distance between them, right? F is proportional to m1, m2 divided by r square. Okay, this is we know this is something that we know from Newton's law of gravitation. For electric field, we know Coulomb's law, right? If two charged objects are there, then there will be some attraction or repulsion force. In case of gravitation, it is attraction force only. But in case of electric force, it might be attraction or it might be repulsion depending on the nature of the charges. If they are opposite in nature, then they will attract each other, and if they are same in nature, then they will repulse each other. In any way, a force is acting, be it attraction or repulsion, a force is always acting. That force, if you remember, Coulomb's law, according to Coulomb's law, that force is directly proportional to the product of the charges, amount of charges, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. You remember we discussed about this, okay? So now this force is applicable within a certain area only, okay? Now what do we mean by that? Let us say when we are talking about gravitational force, let us say I have an object here. Now it will have a certain area around it, okay? Within which if I bring another object, then what will happen? This body will feel a force that is applied by this body, okay? This body will feel a force applied by this body because this body has now entered the gravitational field of this body. Now, if I take it out, let us say I took it out of the gravitational field. Now, what will happen? This body will not be able to apply any force on this body anymore. Okay? So, the area around the body within which the body can apply a force on another object, that is called gravitational field. Field means it is an area in which the force is acting. Okay. Now for electric field, it is if I have a charged object, it will also create a certain area around it within which if I place another charged object, it will apply a force. Okay, depending on the nature of the charge, it might be attraction or it might be repulsion force. Okay, but if you take the charges out of the electric field, then what will happen? This one will have no effect on this, or this one will not be able to apply any force on that charge. Do you understand my point? So this is the field that we are talking about. Okay, field, the gravitational field for object. Here we will consider masses m1, m2. And here we are considering charged object. Okay? Clear? Any doubt?
Yes.
Okay. So here we are discussing about three things: force, field, and intensity. Already we got to know what is force. Already we got to know what is field. Now we are going to talk about the intensity. Okay. Now what is intensity? Intensity is force. Okay? Intensity is force. Then why it is different than force? Because intensity is the force on unit mass. On unit mass. Let us say on 5 kg object, the force that is being applied is 50 Newton. Then on unit mass, unit means 1. So 1 kg object, how much force will be acting? 50 divided by 5 equal to 10 Newton per kg. This is 50 Newton, this is 5 kg, so that is why Newton per kg. Now this is the intensity. Okay, this is the intensity. So you see, this is the value of F, force, and this is the value of intensity that we express by E. So you see the difference. So E is equal to what I can write? This 50 is the force, right? So E is equal to, we can write force divided by this 5 kg is the mass. So this is the expression that we can develop for intensity. For unit mass, what is the force acting? So definitely E is a force, but in case of intensity, we specify that the mass is 1 kg. On 1 kg, how much acting? Then let us say from here we got to know that on 1 kg, 10 Newton is acting. So if the mass is doubled, 2 kg, then the force will also be doubled. It will be 20 Newton. Okay. Then for 3 kg, it will be 30 Newton, 5 kg, 50 Newton. It is like that. Okay. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubt about this intensity, please ask me questions or let me know. This intensity is actually gravitational field intensity. Okay, we divided by mass. Okay, that means we are talking about gravitational force. This force is gravitational force, and this intensity is gravitational field intensity. If I talk about the electric field intensity, then how this is going to be? You remember that in gravitational force, two objects are there, but in case of electric force, two charge are there, right? Two charge object also we can say. So electric intensity, it is going to be, let us say it is Q1 and Q2. Then E will be F divided by Q. Here it is divided by mass, and here it is divided by charge. On unit charge, how much force is acting? Okay, on unit charge, how much force is acting? So that is electric field intensity, and this is gravitational field intensity. Anybody have any doubt? If you don't have, then I'm going to ask you a question. I want to hear it from Tanjimul. Okay, Tanjimul, based on the unit that we have got here, Newton per kg, the gravitational field intensity, can you tell me what will be the unit of electric intensity? Electric intensity. Okay, what it will be? What the unit will be? Can you tell me? See, I will help you. No problem. Gravitational field intensity, it is Newton per kg. So electric intensity, it should be, what is the unit of force? Anjumul, are you there?
স্যার ওর মাইকের মেবি প্রবলেম আছে, ওর কথা আসে না।
মাইকের প্রবলেম আছে? আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, ওকে। মোর্শেদ, মোর্শেদের মাইকের সমস্যা মনে হয়। কি মুসিবত? এই সাইফুল,
না, তানজিমুলেরটা তো কয়দিন আগে ও বলছে টেক্সট
আচ্ছা
করে।
সাইফুল,
Yes, sir. Sir,
তো দেখি বলো।
Newton.
Newton. Okay, force is Newton, and this one? What is the unit of charge?
Coulomb.
Coulomb. So it is Newton per Coulomb. Here we divide it by mass. Mass unit is kg, so Newton per kg, and there it will be Newton per Coulomb. Okay, alhamdulillah. Now let's move to our next topic, that is rotational motion. Okay, in rotational motion, the first topic that we can see is axis of rotation. Axis of rotation. Now, what do we mean by that? Okay, let us say there is a rope. Okay, I am holding one end of the rope, and at the another end of the rope I tied a ball, and now I am rotating the ball. Okay, the ball will be in a rotational motion, and my finger, this one will be the center of its path, right? Now through my finger, if I imagine a line, okay, The body is rotating like this. Now this is the center point. Through this center point, if I imagine a line, a vertical line, then that line will be called axis of rotation. Why this is axis of rotation? Because around this axis, the body is rotating. Okay, so this is axis of rotation. If I try to draw it on the board, it has to be drawn actually three-dimensionally, but I'm not good in three-dimensional drawing, but still I'm going to take a try. Achha. So let us say an object is having a rotational motion, okay, and this is the center of it. So through the center, if I imagine a line passing, can you imagine that this is a certain plate? Through the center, a line is passing. Okay, so this line will actually be known as axis of rotation. Did you understand? If anybody have any doubt, please let me know now. Abir, বুঝতে পারছো? What is axis of rotation?
Yes, sir. Bucci.
Acha, okay, mashallah. Then, if we go to the next page, that is 212. Into the first
স্যার
paragraph.
আরেকবার একটু বলেন অ্যাক্সিস অফ রোটেশনটা।
Okay, আমরা definition-টা পড়লে বুঝে যাবা। Okay, দেখো 212 page definition আছে। The bold lines. First paragraph যে bold line গুলো আছে সেটা। The straight line on which the centers of the circular motion of the particles of rotating body situated is called axis of rotation. দেখো এই যে লাইনটা আমরা যে লাইনটা চিন্তা করছি এই লাইনটার উপরে সেন্টারটা আছে তাই না একটা বডি একটা সার্কুলার মোশনে আছে and whenever a body is in circular motion that circular path will definitely have a center. Through that center, if I can imagine a line, that line will be known as axis of rotation. Okay?
Sir,
bolo.
तो sun solar system axis.
Sun is the center. Actually, the thing is, sun is not actually at the center of a solar system because inshallah in grade 12 you will get to study at a chapter that is conic, known as conic. Okay, we till now we know that the orbit of the planet, orbit means the path in which the planet rotates is circular. This is what we know, but then this is not actually true. These paths are elliptical. Elliptical means they are something like this. Okay, they rotate in a path something like this. Okay, now when you will study conic, you will get to know about these three types of circle: ellipse, hyperbola, and parabola. Okay, already I told you about this, I guess, when we discussed about the trajectory of projectile. So this is ellipse. Okay, one of them. So sun is actually, this ellipse has two epicenter. Okay, these two center are there. So sun is actually at one of this center. So sometimes the planet gets very closer to the sun, and sometimes it is very far from the sun, and then again it gets closer, then again it gets far. So in this way actually it rotates. It is not a perfect circle. Okay, it is an ellipse. So that is why actually we cannot actually consider that the sun is at the middle and through it a line is passing which can be axis of rotation. But yes, based on whatever you know till now, you know this right till now, and you know that at the center there is sun. So according to that, yes, we can say the sun is at the center on the axis of rotation. Through sun, if I consider a line vertically, then we can call it axis of rotation because around this axis every particle is rotating. Understood?
Yes.
Acha. Then we have angular displacement. Angular displacement we already know, I guess, na? Angular displacement, angular velocity, and angular acceleration. We have already studied in dynamics. Na? Naki tomader ke pore na. Amar khali mone thake na je kajo pore. So if a body is in circular motion, let us say the body is here now. After some time, the body came here. So this is the initial position, this is the final position. If I connect them with the center, an angle will be created. So this is the angular displacement. By this angle, the body has been displaced. So that is why angular displacement. Okay. So let angular displacement divided by time, that will give us the angular velocity, which is omega. Okay. You must remember omega has to be written in something like this, not like W. Okay. It has to be, a little bit inward. Okay. And then angular acceleration, that is the rate of change of angular velocity. We can write d omega dt. Okay, actually this one can also be written as d theta dt, the rate of change of angular displacement. Okay, and if I replace the value of omega over here, then it will be d dt theta. Omega, I have replaced the value, so it will be double differentiation d2 theta by d2. Remember, many of the students make mistake here. They think that it is multiplication d into d square, so d into t square. But then they ask, sir, why it is not like that? The d into d square is here. It is not multiplication. By this, actually, we mean theta will be double differentiated. See, one first time, then again. So that is represented by d2 by dt2. Okay. Not even it is read as a square. This is not a square. Okay, d2 by dt2. Okay. I think if we start discussing about this moment of inertia topic today, we will not be able to finish it. So better we discuss about it tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. Tomorrow we have one period. So inshallah in that period we will get to know about this moment of inertia. And if we have time, inshallah, we will take a look at the two theorems that are regarding moment of inertia, that is there in 215 page. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, inshallah. And I wanted to know, what about the rest of the doubt of dynamics? What is going on? Did you solved till 20 only, I guess. What about the rest? You didn't do it yet, right? শেষ করে ফেলো যদি পারি তো কালকে আসলে ওটার উপরে ডাউট সলভিং ক্লাস নিলে ডাইনামিক্সটা একদম শেষ হয়ে যাইতো, তাহলে ভালো হতো। তো চেষ্টা করো যে আজকে সলভ করে আমাকে ডাউটগুলো মেসেজ করতে, সো দ্যাট আগামী কালকে আমি ওটার উপরে ক্লাস নিতে পারি। আর যদি তোমরা আজকের মধ্যে না জানো, তাহলে কালকে ডাইনামিক্সটা শেষ হবে না, আর কি ওই নিউটন মেকানিক্সে কন্টিনিউ করতে হবে। তো একটা চ্যাপ্টার ফুল শেষ না করলে আসলে আরেকটা চ্যাপ্টার ডিসকাস করা যায় না প্রপারলি, মাঝে মাঝে ব্রেক হয়ে যায়। তো চেষ্টা করো কালকের মধ্যে ডাইনামিক্সটা একটু শেষ করে ফেলতে। আর থার্সডে তো মনে হচ্ছে না ক্লাস হবে, বিকজ সেটা ঈদের আগের দিন, তো আমাদের হাতে শুধু কালকেই সময় আছে। তো সবাই একটু চেষ্টা করো কালকে এটা করে ফেলতে। ওকে, ঠিক আছে, ভালো থাকো তাহলে। আসসালামু আলাইকুম রাহমাতুল্লাহ ওয়া বারাকাতুহু। আর তোমাদের ভিডিও লাস্ট কয়েকটা আসলে আপলোড দেওয়া হয়নি, আমি আজকে সকালে বসে আপলোড দিয়েছি, তো সেগুলো চাইলে দেখে নিতে পারো যদি কারো লাগে।